All right, welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world famous As It Should Be studios. Yeah, and well, today I'm going to be doing a random record pull. Yeah, I haven't done one of those in a long time. A long time I have not done a random record pull. Well, I'm doing one today. Okay, and you'll see I have all the records that I usually have in front. All taken away. I had them taken away. They're gone, and so we can have access. Well, except for the original artwork for the As It Should Be cartoon. Remember the last episode, the cartoon episode? Yeah, well, this is the artwork for that. I did it on a I did it on an inner sleeve because I didn't have a sketch pad. But yeah, so actually I should have this out of the way too. All right, so let's do this. I'll probably do 10. I don't know. I'm just gonna do them and decide when I'm done, I guess. But usually when I do this, I get a blindfold. You know what? I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to close my eyes, and you're just going to have to trust me, okay? All right, so let's try one here. Here we go. Ooh, whatever it is thick. Oh, I have two. I thought I had a really thick double album. I have two albums. Okay, well. Oh, wow, okay. The Ebonies. Yeah, this is the Ebonies. This is, take the sleeve off here. Yeah, this is, it's on the Philadelphia label, right? Yeah, the Ebonies. This is a really, I don't know how obscure, really, of a soul album this is. I've seen a lot of copies of it. It just wasn't a big hit album. It's kind of quasi-obscure. Does that make any sense? I guess what it is I just feel like it's not a really big album that yet, like I said, I feel like I've seen a lot of copies of it. Of course, it's a promo copy, and this is kind of one of those albums I think where if you run into it, you're probably going to run into a promo copy because you have those records that are kind of a little bit more. Well, they just weren't big hits, and so there weren't a lot of copies out that people purchased, but a lot of promos out, and yeah, that's one of these. Here you go, it's the back cover. Yeah, it's just an R&B group, Philly area group, and then we have the Sound of Philadelphia inner sleeve. It's been a long time since I've heard this record. I actually kind of don't remember it that well, so I can't really comment much on the music. But it's Philly soul, and what's the year on this? Let me whip out my eyes and find out what year this is. This is 73. Yeah, so some 1973 Philly soul with, yeah. Dig the Ebonies. All right. By the way, the other one that I accidentally pulled was, Nashville Skyline. All right, let's try another one here. Eyes closed. I swear, really. Oh shit, I grabbed two again, didn't I? Well. All right, well, we're going with this one. NRBQ with Workshop. Yeah, I take the plastic off. This is kind of a little bit of a beat copy. It's very difficult to find this record. I've not seen many of these. In fact, I think this may be the only one I've really ever run across that wasn't a reissue, and so I bought it even though it's not in the greatest condition. But it's an OG copy. The old Kama Sutra label there, huh? Yeah, and Workshop. What is this? What, the third NRBQ album? And what year is it from? I don't know this offhand. This is a 1972 album. Yeah, 1972. What about the sleeve? Ooh, it's got the old Buddhist sleeve. Yeah, this copy is really not. Well, I mean, I guess it's okay. It's okay. It's not as bad as it looks on the cover there, but I kind of remember it being a little on the crackly side. Yeah. Now, NRBQ is a band that I'm not really that deep with. I have a bunch of their albums. I kind of went through a period where I was picking them up a lot, but I never really sat and got... Well, this is one of those bands that I dug into later on in life when I guess what am I trying to say? When I was younger and I would get really into bands and I would get into, say, the Kinks. I was a kid. I was like, 11, 12, 13 years old, and I was just obsessed, and I would listen so deeply to the records all the time and learn all I could about them. And there are other bands that when I got into them a little at a later age where I just didn't invest as much time into digging through the albums. And the thing about this is that I think also is that when you're younger, when you get a record, you can only get one. You'd mow lawns or whatever and save up money to go out and buy a record, and that was the record you had. You had that new record, and you went in deep with it. You get older, you get into your adult years, and you can buy all the records you want. so I acquired quite a few NRBQ albums in a short period of time without sitting and really getting in deep with any of the individual titles. So all of that said, this one has Come On If You're Coming, and Mona, yeah. What else is on this? Oh, Just Hold My Hand, Deaf, Dumb, and Blind, Miss Moses, yeah. No, this is a pretty good record, but I'm trying to say something about this record when I don't have much to say about it. You probably know more about it than I do. Workshop by NRBQ. And the other one that I accidentally pulled was All Hopped Up by NRBQ. All right, this is going to be really entertaining. All right, so next one. Here we go. Okay. I think I actually managed to pull only one this time. What do we have here? Oh. Rush with Hemispheres. Yeah, Rush with Hemispheres. What do you have here? Yeah. Pretty good copy of this, actually. One thing I'm not sure of. Did this have a... it has this plain sleeve. Did it have like a picture inner sleeve? I don't remember now. This is the only copy of this I have or have ever had, so I actually don't know. But this copy only has a plain white sleeve. But yeah, otherwise it's a pretty good copy. It's a really nice copy. No ring wear. This is one of my... This is not going to be a popular opinion. This is one of my least favorite 70s Rush albums. Because I don't know, it just leans a little too heavily on the prog vibes. There aren't enough. I like Rush, but I like songs Rush. Fly By Night, Limelight, Finding My Way, Bastille Day, songs. When we start getting into like the really like heavy duty, like really overtly prog stuff, I don't dislike it, I just don't like it as much. And so when we get into this period of Rush, when we get sort of like after they hit it with 2112, and then you get into the latter half of the 70s, this is my least favorite. I mean, I prefer the Kings one, the Farewell to Kings. I prefer Farewell to Kings, and I definitely prefer like Permanent Waves, which is starting to get a little bit more accessible and point towards moving pictures. Right in the 2112, of course, is great. That one's overtly proggy too. But I don't know, there's just something about this one that I don't connect with as much. But it's still great. It's still Rush. All you Rush fans, it's okay. Eat a peach. But, and so Hypnosis really liked Bare Boy Bums there, didn't they? They were really into that. All right, up next. Did I already go down here? I already went down there. Okay. What do we got? Oh! The Hollies. Dear Eloise, King Midas from Reverse. Yeah. This is a stereo copy. I have a mono copy and I have a stereo. I think I have like a couple of stereo. I have a stupid number of copies of this record, to be honest. But I have at least one mono and at least one stereo. This is one of the stereo ones. Yeah. And you know, something I find really odd is even in the era of ridiculously overpriced records that we're in these days, I find that these, like an album like this, a lot of these Hollies albums from this period aren't that expensive. Odd. I mean, I guess that's good. I mean, I guess as many great albums you can have out there that aren't, you know, ludicrously priced, I guess, you know, the more of those the better. But what is it? Are the Hollies not popular anymore? What's wrong with you people? What's wrong with you people? But anybody who maybe wants to go out and dig up some Hollies, some later 60s Hollies, it's not that expensive, I don't think. I mean, what did I pay for this? $8? Granted, it was quite a few years ago, but I mean, I still see them not that expensive, so knock yourselves out with some Hollies. All right. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go into uncharted territory here in our random record pool videos. I have records right there, right under you. See, you always see that I have records back there, but you are on top of another shelf identical to that one that's on its side, and I have records down there, and I have never pulled those. I mean, not for a random record pool. So I'm gonna go down below you, okay, and I'm gonna see what I get. Woo! Thin Lizzy, yeah. Yeah, Thin Lizzy with Jailbreak. Yeah, everything's alphabetical, so I have like my S's and my T's and my Z's and everything down there. And so this is my Thin Lizzy with has the Mercury sleeve, of course the classic Chicago Cityscape Mercury label. And this is one of those albums this is another one of those albums that I have a lot of copies of, or at least 2 or 3 copies of. And I don't know offhand which one this is. And in other words, because I tend to have them kind of ranked. So I don't know where this one, you know, sits in the condition territory. Because I don't have any of these that have like shrink or hype stickers or anything. So, but yeah, I mean, what a classic. You know, a lot of people tend to like to claim that the opening track, that the title track on this isn't that great. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's absolutely great. Are you kidding me? The opening track, Jailbreak, on this fucking classic. Now, I understand you probably have heard it a lot. I mean, I could understand you considering it played out. But it's a great track. It is an absolutely unbelievable track. I had the privilege of hearing the opening track of hearing Jailbreak on really nice studio speakers. I was in a really nice studio in LA with the band I was in at the time and the producer. We were just kind of sitting there in the control room, and he pulled up this record and played Jailbreak, the track, on the studio speakers and just blasted it, and it was a revelation. It had always been a great track, but I really, really, truly fell in love with that track and this album, I guess, you know, as a byproduct. At that moment, it was just like, holy shit, wow, this sounds so good. Just the way the drums sound, and just like the guitar, yeah, just everything, just about the way it's the simple, that simple, earthy, warm 70s, you know, sound that it has, and it just really just came through so nicely in those speakers. And it's just Jailbreak. Come on, people. All right, next up. As I go through them with my eyes closed and I'm trying to decide on one to grab, I'm kind of feeling them going, can I identify this just by feeling, just by the feel of the cover? Yeah. What do I have here? Oh! Get ready for the Paul Core. The Ocean Blue. Yeah, the first Ocean Blue album from 1989. Yeah. Oh, man. This is my OG copy. Yeah, this is an actual Sire reprise copy from back in the day. It's been reissued recently. I mean, they themselves, the band, have reissues of all their albums on vinyl, some of which didn't come out on vinyl at all originally. This one did. I don't think Cerulean did. The second one, Beneath the Rhythm and Sound, I don't think did, but they're available on vinyl now. And then you have See the Ocean Blue, which was definitely not on vinyl back in the time. That is on vinyl now. And what else? Yeah, every single one. Davy Jones's Locker, and Waterworks. Every single Ocean Blue album is now available on vinyl, and I highly recommend them. You know, the Ocean Blue right now are actually on the road doing a tour where they're playing this album and the second album, Cerulean, live in their entirety. They were, I actually saw them in San Francisco just a few months ago. And at the time they were doing each album as a separate night. So they did one night of the first album, and then the next night they did another show on the same venue doing the second album. And I went and I saw the first album show, but they're coming back around, and they're going to be here in New York in December, and they're going to be doing both in one night, and I'm going to be going to that. And yeah, thank you to Ed. And yeah, anyway, Ocean Blue first album. Between Something and Nothing is the opening track. That would have been a single from the time that you would know, and certainly Drifting Falling, which is the song that I heard on the radio one day in 1989 that started it all off for me. That's what made me a fan. Whew, the Ocean Blue first album. All right. I'm gonna go down here again. I'm gonna go to another little cubby and see what I get. Okay. Okay. What do I have here? Oh shit. Pete Townsend with Who Came First. Yeah, this is Pete Townsend's first solo album. This is from 1972, and let's see. It's a pretty nice copy, but it's a little misaligned, I'm noticing here. I didn't catch this before. If you look really closely, see the text that's kind of going up off the image, off the cover. Oh well, but it has but it has the poster. Oh, I didn't realize. Ooh, I didn't realize I had the poster in there. This is a copy that I got of this album maybe sometime within the last 10 years. I got this. Now I had a copy that I got when I was maybe about 12. I think I got a copy of this record, you know, I think in the 50-cent bin at a record store called Looney Tunes, and because I was really just on it. I was going through a period where I was really just feverishly getting all the Who and Who-related albums I could get my hands on, and I ran across a copy of this that was just beat to shit. You know, ringware, you know, somebody had like tried to erase part, like you had eraser marks on it, you know, somebody had written their name on it, you know, I think one of the songs skipped. So for the longest time, the only copy of this album I had was that really terrible, just crap 50-cent bin copy. And I only just kind of, again, in the last 10 years, I got this much nicer copy with the poster. And it's a pretty cool record. It's kind of like a weird, it feels like almost like a collection of demos. But the thing about Pete Townsend's demos is that his demos are so well produced and well performed. And the opening track on this is his, what I guess really is his demo version of Pure and Easy. I absolutely prefer that to the Who version. I mean, there are a lot of things about the Who version that are better than this, but you know what it is I prefer Pete Townshend's vocal on that track. I like the way it sounds with Townsend singing it rather than Daltrey. And yeah, so there's that. And what else is on here? Oh, Forever's No Time at All. Great track with great stuff. Time is Passing, which the Who did. It was one of their Lifehouse tracks that didn't end up making Who's Next. Well, Townsend, I guess, demo version is on here. Great version. What else? Forever's No Time at All. His version of Let's See Action, which was a single in 1971, The Who. Now, in the case of Let's See Action, I definitely prefer The Who's version. Love it. But, you know, it's pretty fun to have a Townsend version on this. But yeah, Townsend's Who's Next. And I'm pretty sure there's a CD reissue of this from the 2000s that has bonus tracks and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there you go. All right, next up. I'll go up here. All the way over here. Go here. There it is. Yeah, let's do this. No, let's go there. Okay, what do I have? Ooh. Whatever it is, it's in one of those resealable plastic covers, so it must be really important. Oh shit. It's my signed Love It to Death. Yeah. I know I've shown this on countless videos before. In fact, if you look at my really old videos, this was one of those records that was always in the background, you know, like 2 years ago. So you definitely, anybody who's been watching videos for like the last couple of years has definitely seen this. But yeah, this is my Love It to Death. It's original copy with the thumb cover, and I believe, is this a promo? I don't remember if this is a promo. It might be a promo. Let's find out. I don't remember. Oh, that's all right. What do we got here? The suspense is killing me. Ah, yes, it is. It's a white label. Okay. So yeah, but yeah, so it's signed by everybody but Glenn Buxton, because I got these signatures, you know, within the last few years. I got Dennis's. I got his the earliest, but you know, Alice, I got his in 2016 maybe. Dennis is a little earlier than that. Yeah. You know, we got Michael Bruce down there, Neil Smith. You know, I've loved this album since I was like 11. I think I was about 11 when I got my first copy of this record, and I probably would have just keeled over if somebody had told me that one day I would have one of these with all these signatures on it. I mean, yeah. It's, Love It to Death. One of the best Alice Cooper albums. One of my two very favorites. One of my two very favorite Alice Cooper albums. Love It to Death. Alright. Alright. Next up. Two more. I'm going to do two more. Alright. Well, Monkey's Headquarters. Yeah, the Monkey's Headquarters. This is a mono copy, a Beards cover. Yeah. I mean, for the uninitiated, I think a lot of people, well, any Monkeys geek's gonna know this, but there were two different versions of the cover. Just this. You know, the front cover was always the same, and you always had the back collage. But this one image down here, there's a pressing of it that has a picture just of the producer and the engineer, Hank Chicalo and Chip Douglas. And then there's the Beards version. And this is a picture of, it has the Monkees, you know, in the studio with beards with, this is with Hank Chicalo. Yeah, Chicalo. Now, supposedly, I guess the Beards cover is the more rare cover. I mean, it's supposed to be kind of a thing if you find one with the Beards image on the back. But from what I understand, I'm not really sure, but looking it up and kind of doing further research, I thought this was the first version of the cover, but I've seen indications that the picture, or the back, or the one that has the picture on the back just of Hank and Chip is the first one, and that this was the second one. I don't know. All I know is that whatever the deal, this is the tougher one to find. And of course, this is the first album where the Monkees were in charge of their own, you know, the masters of their own destiny, choosing their own songs, playing their own instruments, grabbing their own producer, the whole thing. And it's a great ramshackle garage rock 60s pop record. I highly recommend it. If you're a Monkees, you know, novice, and you're not really sure what to listen to, go check this album out. This is not what you expect. I mean, it's a really, you know, there are Monkees tracks on this that you would know, but this is just kind of like, it's just a completely different vibe from the first two albums, and easily one of their best albums, Headquarters. Okay, one more. This is the last one. Should I go down there? Nah, I'll go over here. Ooh. I'm gonna choose from down here. Nah, I'm not gonna do that way. I'm gonna do it, okay, alright. Alright. We're down here again. Okay. Rush. I'll pull another one. We've already done Rush. Okay, let me do another one. Of course, if I go down here, I'm probably gonna get Rush again, right? Now if I go over here. Oh, the first Santana album. Yeah, and yeah, you know, ye olde shrinking hype sticker. Yeah, for some reason I got on this crusade at some point. I don't remember, there was something that kind of got me on this first Santana album kick, and I didn't have a copy. And I decided that not only did I need to get this record, but it absolutely had to be Shrinkin' Hype Sticker. It was like, it was an absolute crusade that I was on, and I managed to do it. And you know, it's you know, it's an OG. It's probably slightly late. It's probably not the very first pressing, actually. It's probably a second or something, because I don't think I suspect that the original probably wouldn't have both these songs on the sticker, but I don't know. Maybe. Check Discogs, I don't know. All I know is that this is a really, really, really beautiful copy of this album. And, you know, obviously, you know, Evil Ways, and what else? Jingo, and is that it? Soul Sacrifice? Is that it? I thought there were like 15 hits on this. Well, whatever. But yeah, it's a classic. And I'm not even that big of a Santana fan. I hardly have any Santana albums. I think, in fact, this may possibly be the only Santana album I own. So there's that. Was there a poster in this? No. But it does have, if I can get it out here, it does have the old Columbia inner sleeve. Yeah, so there you go. The very first Santana. And what more do you want? All right, so there you go. That is my my latest random record pool. Hopefully that was interesting. I pull these things randomly, hoping that I have something to say about the record, and sometimes I just don't. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. So anyway. Thanks everybody for watching, and thank you for subscribing if you have. But if you haven't, maybe consider subscribing, and if you do, click the little bell because notifications. But either way, you're going to want to come back on Thursday because Crystal Durant and Tommy Von Boyd are going to be back here in the world famous As It Should Be Studios, and we're going to be discussing our favorite drummers. Yeah, we've been kind of doing, low-key doing a series of our favorite players, and which I talked about last week as well. We did a favorite singers video, we did a favorite guitarist video, a favorite bassist, now we're doing our favorite drummers. I imagine we're probably not going to keep on going until we do our favorite, oboe players, but probably not. We'll see. We'll see how desperate we get for content. But come back on Thursday and see our video discussing our favorite drummers. All right, I will see you soon. Well, all right, welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world famous As It Should Be Studios. Yeah, well, I decided today I'm going to be doing a redo, because I don't remember what I'm doing. I'm doing a random record pool. I'm doing a brain check. Doing a lobotomy. That's what I'm doing. Okay, all right, let's try this again. Itchy nose, always an itchy nose. It's because when you start getting older, you have long hairs and they start itching, they start tickling your inner nose. Yeah, right. I should have cut the hairs in there, right? It's gonna start looking like a Muppet. All right. God, no, it really is itching. Okay, all right. Well, all right.